And gentlemen, welcome Keep USA at Tulare Union High School's president, Abdul Al-Azzam.
Like a boss.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Abdul Al-Azzam, a junior at Tulare Union High School. The theme of today is freedom is the new normal. Freedom is the new normal. And if we keep fighting for it, this November, it looks and seems like Republicans will take back the majority of the House. And hopefully, in 2024, the White House too. But the question is, what happens after that? Do we just put our trust in these politicians who are flawed and many morally lost? Honestly, even good leadership for a couple years. What happens in the future after they're gone? My point is, what will we do? And I also ask myself, what is freedom? How can we make our nation better and more free? And how do we have that last? The founding fathers of our nation were a vast majority Christian, and before some discredit them for owning slaves, at least they acknowledged it was wrong. And by 1804, all the northern states, led by Thomas Jefferson, had banned slavery, and the founders did think slavery would end, but unfortunately, the Southerners really needed it for their economy. But now, we've come forward, and we know that that is morally wrong. The thing is, although these men were flawed, we forget how flawed the men of our own time are. And we like to judge and get on our moral high horse. In America, we've had 63 million abortions plus, and that is a huge sin. My point is, if we really just appreciate them, we understand that they had great knowledge for both the natural and moral law. These men were Christians who understood what right and wrong was. They created a constitution and founding documents that were genius and experimental during that time. A key point, though many people overlook it, is what John Adams famously said. Our Constitution was made only for a moral and religious people. It is wholly inadequate to the government of any other. Now let's compare that to the leaders of this day and age, who many don't have a moral compass or correctly formed conscience to tell them what is right and what is wrong. Libertarians would argue for American society to be free, but they've got it wrong. They would say some freedoms, such as abortion, are totally yours. You can smoke all the pot you want, and let's just decriminalize most things. So as long as we keep our guns. I like to keep our guns part, but not the rest. I'm sorry, but I see this argument as flawed. It leads to a society of decline and also a people without principles. If America wants to truly make freedom the new normal, it starts with each and every one of us individually. As Ronald Reagan said, if we ever forget that we are one nation under God, then we will be a nation gone under. If we fall into this trap of thinking be able to do whatever we want is real freedom, then we are a slave to our desires. I believe that as John Paul II said, freedom consists not in doing what we like, but in having the right to do what we ought. I believe that these things include our right to worship every Sunday and never have our churches shut down by the government again. I believe you should have the right to keep your job without being forced to take a COVID vaccine. I believe all law-abiding citizens have the right to keep and bear arms, and that you should be able to speak your mind and what is true without being censored. But going back to my point, America will cease to exist if we don't all try every day and individually in our own families to solve our own weaknesses and problems before we solve the world's. We must try every day to become better, more honest, grateful, responsible, God-fearing Americans. If we do that, if we have a strong families, if we realize how important morals are and family is, then our country will get better. God, family, country. In that order. Because if we try to make a more God-fearing population, then our moral compass can change, and we'll have the stable mind to make correct decisions and not be so confused as our nation is today. I love this country, and I appreciate the freedoms we have. Both of my parents are immigrants, and they've taught me to hard work and gratitude, and I especially have gratitude to live in this great nation. On Memorial Day, I've cried, seeing videos and pictures of men who went to war. 19-year-olds, 18-year-olds, fighting in World War II, dying. right out of high school, and they died for our freedom for what is good and true. They would be shocked and extremely saddened to see the moral and societal decline of this nation. They didn't die so we could do whatever we want. They died so we could have the freedom to do what we ought, which is to live in a peaceful, free nation where we could raise our own families, work hard, treasure what is good, worship our God, and live worthy of their sacrifice. I challenge everyone here to try to become a better American by trying to become a better, more responsible person and fighting for what is good, moral, and true. This is the greatest and freest nation to ever exist, and we must fight to save it. Thank you, and God bless America.